Here we are at this beautiful Kia Stinger. Joseph, come on, introduce your system to us.
Hi, it's got 3 US amplifiers. There's 2 of the SQ442s and a 50 HC on the sub. Got a Helix Ultra sitting behind them there.
In there, I see.
Yeah. And the system's all made to be taken out. The factory battery's right here underneath the sub.
Okay.
So there's 6 bolts, and then you unplug the speakers from the adapter over here, and there's a Anderson connector back there for the power.
For the power.
So lift them all right out and get to all the factory stuff. Takes about 10 minutes.
Nice.
And rear fill up here in the rear deck. It's the Karma Aspect 3-inch.
What's the spec on this enclosure for this Illusion?
It's a C12. It's the Illusion C12. It's about 4-inch deep enclosure there. It's a fiberglass enclosure on the bottom. And I don't actually know the full size of it because I just made it to fit the space, and then I've had to put stuff in it to take up some space because it's a little bigger than it should be.
You still have practical space.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I only drive it back and forth to work. If we're taking and hauling anything, we use the wife's car for that, her SUV.
That's usually the way.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the front. It's a very nice 2-tone interior. I like it. Okay, so what do we know?
So up front in the doors, you've got the Karma Illusion 6 and the Inspire 3. So you've got the wideband up here, 6 here, the 3-inch rear fill, and the 12. That's it.
Source,
you can either use the factory radio, or you can play it through the iPad. Either one. The Helix Ultra auto switches between the 2 sources.
How do you feed the signal from this to the DSP?
So the factory radio, I intercepted the digital signal, so I'm doing digital in for the factory, and then this is going into a project DAC down here, and then runs RCAs back to the Helix.
I see. You have a nice
conductor there. Yeah.
Color coded. And that's pretty much it. Nice and simple.
Little flocking on there, just to make them blend in a little better.
You have gone through quite a few changes in this car.
Yeah, I started out with just the 6 and the Tweet two-way, and then I went to the 6 Tweet and the Aspect 3s, and then after finals last year, I switched over, got rid of the tweeter and went to the widebands.
And how do you feel now without tweeter?
I for a long time I had the tweeters in and these, and I switched between the tunes back and forth, and I got to where I couldn't tell which one was which. And if I couldn't tell that I needed them, then they could go. So I'm very happy with the wideband so far, and they do really well.
How do you feel? What is the strength of this system, the highlight that really stands out?
I think it images really, really well. The tonality is pretty good. I think it could use a little bit more on the low end. I'd like to switch that out to a 15 of some sort. I know Nick's getting ready to have a 15 that might fit in there.
You have already answered the next question.
There's a lot of
Resonix
in here, by the way, too.
Yeah.
I do get that is one of the strong points of the car. Actually, is I've
Solid.
had judges get out and be like, "It's nice to judge a car that doesn't make any noises."
And buzzes, considering that you have mid-bass in the doors.
Yeah, it doesn't make any noise.
Always a big enemy. I tuned one of these cars a few months ago, and also in that one I had one of the best mid-bass performances from a door.
Yeah,
not overall best mid-bass performance, but from a door I had one of the best.
Yeah, it's surprisingly how good they do in here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deadening that goes on to make that happen now, I think, too. There's all the Resonix products in there. Then there's the the blocks that he used to sell before he came out with the fiber mat.
I know.
The doors have those in them too. So
a lot of attention.
A lot of attention on that. I had a lot of problems in my previous car. I took the doors apart a lot of times to get rid of noises. Never really got rid of all of them, so I went overkill on these.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course, all the cables are made by me. So.
Yes, actually, that we have to mention it because many people don't know.
Oh
that
yeah.
You have this service that you make custom cables for people, right?
Yeah. RSD custom cables. That's me. Lots of people with FiOS know me pretty well. Apparently, I'm the one that makes most of those cables for those people.
How many years have you been doing it now?
I think about 7 or 8 years. It really started out as my own, just for my own needs. I was doing an install that was going to be seen a lot, and I wanted custom length cables. So I started making some, and then I made them, and Tam.
People love them?
Well, no. Tam from Audible Physics. I was on Team Audible Physics at the time. He met me at finals. He got in the car and listened, and got out, and he's like, so show me these RCAs that you made. I was like, okay. And he started sending me some stuff. I started doing some research, and me and him were bouncing ideas off of each other, and I finally stumbled onto something that I liked, and other people started liking it too. They're actually modeled after a Nordost cable. So
how's it going now? Is it still a side hustle or?
Yeah, it's just a side job.
Okay.
I'm in IT for a living.
Okay.
The cables are basically enough to pay for me to come to events like this.
Still, it's
kind of
nice.
low volume, do it in my spare time. But,
who knows? Maybe after this video, you will get dozens of orders, and then.
Yeah, it's actually, I used to work from home, so there was a lot more time. But, they get made.
You do your best to find time for everything.
Yeah, have to balance it out with the family and doing that.
Brilliant. Okay, I think it's time to check it out and hear it in this current version.
Let me go flip a switch in the back.
All right.
Actually, let's just